And welcome back to On Location. Today we're sitting at Sangamon Auditorium in the campus of UIS with Bob Vaughn, who is the Executive Director of Sangamon Auditorium. Bob, thank you very much for appearing on our show today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where'd you come from and what have you done?
Sure, Kurt. I'm actually from Springfield, although I was born up at an Army base, Fort Sheridan, up on the North Shore of Chicago.
Right.
I moved to Springfield at an early age, and we've through the school system here. Have 2 degrees from UIS, from Sangamon State, formerly Sangamon State.
Right.
Yeah. And one of which is a Master's of Arts in Community Arts Management, which was a program really of international prominence that was offered here to help train arts managers. Went through the program, got my master's, and did internship in Taos, New Mexico at the Taos Art Association and for half a year, and another half a year at the New Mexico Arts Commission in Santa Fe. Won a management fellowship in Washington, D.C., and worked with the National Endowment for the Arts, what was then the Federal State Partnership Program, over the summer. And then I took a job up in my first real professional position up in Fairbanks, Alaska. Worked up for 7.5 years at the Fairbanks Arts Association and got the opportunity to travel around the state a bit. It's glorious.
Something
Lovely,
that you loved
you know.
dearly then.
Oh, it was lovely, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did it bring you back to Springfield then, and how did you get involved with Sangamon State?
Well, I did that for 7.5 years, and then and my wife and I were married up there, and our all but our eldest were born up in Fairbanks. But we were getting to be too far away from family, so we moved back to the Midwest, back to Jasper, Indiana, and I worked for the city of Jasper, managing the Civic Auditorium for 11 years. And then from that position, I worked there between Jasper and then chaired the Symposium in Arts Administration at Indiana University. Worked with the School of Music there to present artist diploma candidates and graduate students in concert in small communities in southern Indiana. Then we moved to, I got the position Director of Operations at the Lead Center for Performing Arts at the University of Nebraska. I worked there for 11 years, eventually up through the hoops, up from position to position, finally as Senior Director of Finance and Administration. And from that position, and while I was doing that, I was checking with John Dale Kennedy at national conferences to see how things were going here, and see this as an opportunity to kind of to give back to my alma mater, coming back to Springfield to work in this position.
You know, it doesn't really sound like a job. It sounds more like a labor of love for you. It
is a labor of love. I don't know that you can do anything well unless that it helps you to find meaning. And this in fact was a real eye-opener for me, the opportunity to work in the arts in general, I think.
So what are your duties here at Sangamon Auditorium?
Well, I select the artists for the seasons. Now, I've delegated a portion of that to my education staff to work in our various education programs, because I don't know that people know this, but certainly in addition to our Broadway series and our visiting artist series and our kitchen sink series and our family series, we have a program called Class Acts, which is a bus-in school series.
Right.
And in addition to that, we have a program where we work with, it's a partnership with PNC Bank and funded by the PNC Bank Foundation, called Grow Up Great, with the Urban League and the Head Start to work with preschool children to improve their school readiness. And so we have the Grow Up Great program. And then we have partnered with the Kennedy Center, the John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts in Washington, D.C., and have a program for teacher ed, so that we do bring in nationally acclaimed artists to work with teachers, and to so that those teachers can improve skills to meet their core program, their curriculum. Yeah.
Sounds like an exciting time, and this
Yeah.
has been going on for a while, though.
It has, yeah. The actual facility was built, I think, between 78 and 81, probably, in various phases. But it opened, I think, in the spring of 81, and then continued on the first full season the next year, 81, 82, and then continued on since that time. Various degrees of duration of programming and intensity and number of programs, varied over the years, of course. But,
So I'm just speculating, you probably have assisted thousands of children with the higher learning.
Well, there's
the arts.
multiple generations, I think, at this point now that have come through that system, have had their first theater experience in the Class Acts program, for example. So I'm really proud of that, and I think the people that really do where the rubber meets the road, if you will, on those programs are Carly Shank, who's my director of audience development and communication, and then Amy Zepp, who is creative engagement and is the assistant to Carly, and so they've been doing the lion's share of the work in that. In operating those programs.
I want to talk a little bit about the actual auditorium. How many people will it sit?
Well, this auditorium seats with all seats 2018. Usually we have to kill 14 seats for a soundboard. We have 4 usher positions. And I came in and was able to put additional seats in for ushers. When I got here, that we didn't have that, and they were sitting in patron seats, so we moved them into special seats. But there were 4 positions I couldn't avoid because of the steepness of the balcony and so forth. So we put handrails in the auditorium. We put usher seats in there. We redid the pit lift, which was a hydraulic system that was leaking a bit, and so we replaced it with an auger system that can stop on a dime and support huge amount of weight.
And
Redid
the actual
stage
auditorium
floor,
is well kept. I mean, it's just sparkling clean, and
it's a beautiful auditorium. It was a nice job by the architect and the theater consultant, the whole team that really put this together. And for a small university to make this kind of a commitment really reflected some vision about the community and how important it was to have community input into the university's operation and helping to supply the necessary funds.
well, besides a giving community, this is a very talented community as well, because, I mean, between the Hoagland Center and the other theater on Lawrence Street, including this, then it's just been a spectacular drive for the city. It seems like.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Prairie Capital and the fair, and there's quite a lot going on.
right.
And new high schools coming online.
So tell me what is in store for us here in Central Illinois for this fall.
Well, you've got some pretty amazing kinds of events coming up. We start the season with our kitchen sink series in the studio theater downstairs with Marty Ballin, who is the lead singer for if you could say that. I mean, with
Jefferson
Grace Slick in
Airplane,
there.
right.
Yeah. Grace probably is the lead singer. Marty was probably the lead male vocalist. But in any case, so Marty starts the season with our in the kitchen sink series. On the Broadway series, we start with the Blue Man Group. So,
oh wow, spectacular.
yeah,
Las
we're
Vegas
doing
act right
2
here.
shows of the Blue Man Group, and it's selling very well. So if that's something you're interested in, get with the program because tickets are going very quickly. We have in the spring a week-long run of Jersey Boys.
Oh, neat.
Which is a spectacular show. It's one of the blockbusters. You know, Les Mis and Phantom, and Jersey Boys is one of those. The joke is somewhat that it may outshine Frankie and the real Four Seasons, over time.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see. Certainly reach a lot of people, but take nothing away from Frankie. It was amazing. But
Sure.
we also have Memphis on the Broadway series. We have Addams Family. We have the $1 Million Quartet, the full show.
Right.
And a lot of folks have seen at the fair some previews for the Broadway for the Chicago cast of $1 Million Quartet. Well, this is the National Touring Company coming. So
Well, let's not forget Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson is a rental, and we're working with a promoter presenting Willie Nelson, and ultimately we'll see B.B. King too, and in this arrangement with this promoter.
Oh, that'll be great.
We've got ZZ Top. I added that one in. We have Foreigner coming in on the Visiting Artist
Sure.
series. We have Mannheim Steamrollers Christmas show, which is really a popular show.
Now, everybody that is maybe unaware of your schedule can go online and,
yeah.
and find the schedule and also purchase tickets.
No, they can make it pretty easy. If they have an iPhone or an Android-based phone, you can download our app. Just go to it's a free app. You can go to the App Store and download Sangamon Auditorium. Dial up Sangamon Auditorium, download the app, and you'll have our entire season. Or if you don't want to do that, call the ticket office. They'll send you a brochure. It's very easy to see the whole thing. Or go online, www.sangamonauditorium.org.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Bob, and I hope we can come back at some point and talk to you again.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate this opportunity. Yeah.
Well, you're welcome. Thank
Yeah.
you.